Hey everybody, it's Jeff, Aromatics. Welcome back to my brand series where I take a certain branding of tobacco and just give my initial thoughts of that company. Things like what's the first thing that I think of when I hear the name of that specific brand? Things like what do they kind of stand for? What does the history mean to me in the back of my mind? I'm not going to go into anything real in depth about these brands, just my initial thoughts and feelings about them, as well as what I feel are their trademark blends and offerings. And then at the end, I'll go through the top 5 of my favorite offerings that this company has to offer for me, and things of that nature. I thought this would be a fun kind of series to do. I already have done one on the Sutliff brand. So today I was deciding on doing the Gawith and Hoggarth, and I'm going to lump Samuel Gawith in there as well. So the first thing that I think of when I hear the name is I think of old school tobacco. Like I think of the 1800s, 1700s. I think of lumberjacks. I think of something that a Canadian lumberjack might smoke, or a sailor, a British sailor. So these tobaccos are old school. They are made old school. They are very pure as far as the tobacco goes, but at the same time, they're stout. These aren't, in my mind, an aristocratic type of blend. There's another brand that I would say would fill that gap. But this is more for the working man that's out there in the outdoors, that's kind of hardened, that likes those stout tobaccos, things of that nature. That's kind of what I think of when I think of the Gawith and Hoggarth brand. So like I said, when I think of the offerings that this brand has to showcase, I definitely think more on the fuller, stronger type of tobaccos. And they use tobaccos that are more unique compared to what would be used in North America. They definitely use more of the dark fired, dark air cured, especially from India, like India air cured, or African Virginias. They use a lot of those. Just with a lot of old school refinement. And not only that, but the toppings that they use. Instead of using what we would normally use here in North America for toppings, such as your chocolates and vanillas, artificial type of flavors, they, maybe because of laws that were passed years ago, use a much more natural approach. So instead of just using marshmallows and vanillas and chocolates per se, they are known for what's called their Lakeland essence. Now that would use more of natural perfume style, perfumey type of fragrances and natural herbal essences. Things like licorice, rose geranium is really popular. Natural maples, things of that nature, and that's what I would think it makes them really stand out compared to other companies. So as far as what tobaccos I think, when the first thing I think of, or I think maybe a lot of people might think of when they hear Gawith and Hoggarth, what would be their standout, what makes them stand out? And maybe some people would disagree with me here. The one thing I don't think they would disagree with me is, like I said before, the Lakeland essence, those herbal toppings, those natural kind of flowery, essential oil type of things going on. But secondary, what I think of as far as tobacco wise, I think of the ropes. I think of those dark air cured, dark fired twist ropes. That would be the first thing that I think of that they would be known for. And so that thing, as well as the Lakeland essence, would be. So I imagine some people might disagree with me when it comes to the first thing I think of would be the ropes. Maybe what the other people might think of possibly would be their aromatic offerings, number one. So say something like Ennerdale would be the first thing, something high on the list of that has a lot of that Lakeland topping. Maybe something like any of the scented series, like brown flake scented or dark flake scented, things of that nature. So let me go on and think, what would be the number one blend that they would have that I think they would be known for? Now this one's tricky. They have so many really good, high quality tobaccos. I feel bad trying to pick some, but generally, if I were to say what most people would think, would be, I'm guessing, let me look at my list here. So Old Virginia Flake would be, I think, one that many people would think of. Maybe Brown Irish Twist or Brown Bogey. And then, yeah, there's an Ennerdale. Beside those on my list that I have that people would probably also notice, and I feel bad for not putting them there right away, but Bob's Chocolate Flake, 1792 Flake is a real big one. Squadron Leader, St. James Flake. There are so many great ones. It's hard to pick what I think would be their trademark. So I'd be interested in what you guys think in the bottom below. What do you think if it would be their number one trademark blend for Gawith and Hoggarth, Samuel Gawith? And now let me finish off with my top 5, what I personally like myself. So I think these aren't in any particular order except for maybe number 1. So I think number 5 for me would be Dark Bird's Eye. It's a great shag cut. It's just the perfect amount of, it's not too much strength, but it's still got lots of flavor. And it's got that Gawith and Hoggarth, dark fired thing going on. And it's just got a slight little bit of that perfumey essence that lets you know that it is a Gawith and Hoggarth tobacco. On there, I also have Dark Flake Scented. Now, this is a really strong, powerful tobacco, but it's also got lots of that Lakeland perfume, soapy, however you want to call it, topping. So you get the best of both worlds. You get a nice, strong tobacco, and you get a nice aromatic topping as well. So that's a great tobacco. That would be my number 4, I guess. And then number 3 would be their Dark Plug. Now, this one, although it is one of my favorite Gawith and Hoggarth tobaccos, it's very rare, or it's a special occasion that I smoke it. I really have to be in the mood because it's just such a strong. It's a strong tobacco for sure, and I really have to be in the mood for it. But when I am, it definitely is a treat. And then a toss-up between these two, I always go back and forth for my number 1 because they're so similar. But I think in number 4 place, I would put Brown Irish Twist. Just one of the first, if not the first, twist that I ever tried from the company. And I just remembering it hitting that sweet spot of when I'm in the mood for a nice pungent cigar, but I don't want to have a cigar. I find that the Brown Irish X just kind of hits the right spots for me. It doesn't really taste like a cigar necessarily, but it just has that feel to me, and it's nice and smooth and creamy, but strong, and I really like it. But number 1 for me, my top 5 Gawith and Hoggarths would be Brown number 4. Now that's very similar to Brown Irish X. I'm not really sure what the difference is. I just think it's a little bit more unique maybe. It's probably not even that I like it better. It's just I like to have my own tobacco. I like to be my own person. And a lot of people smoke and enjoy Brown Irish X, but not too many people talk about Brown number 4. So that's just, it's very similar, maybe a little bit sharper in taste. Not necessarily stronger, it's just maybe a little bit sharper. So yeah, that would be my top 5 Gawith and Hoggarth blends. Oh, and I also have a few bonus ones here. Coniston Cut Plug, great one. As well as Lower Side, I can't remember the name of it, Lower Side Flake, which is a really good Virginia Perique flake. That was kind of a limited release from Samuel Gawith and Gawith Hoggarth. So what would you say would be your top 5 Gawith blends? And what would you say would be their trademark, their top blend, what they're known for? I'd really like to know that as well. So that is, this was a tough one because they're such a unique company. I didn't really know how to describe them or what to say. So hopefully I did my best there to give you what I think about it. So, okay, I'd love to hear your comments and your thoughts in the bucket below, and we'll leave it at that. And I will see you on my next video. So till then, you guys take care.